Good morning one and all. Today I'll discuss about the reference models. Already I have discussed with you about the layers, services and interfaces. Today briefly I'll discuss with you about the reference models. One is OSI reference model. Second one is the TCP/IP reference model. I can go for a comparison of OSI and TCP/IP model, and some criticisms are discussed about the OSI model as well as TCP/IP reference model. I will discuss all these points today. So this is the ISO OSI reference model. ISO stands for International Standard Organization and OSI stands for Open System Interconnect reference model. In short form, we can tell as OSI reference model. So OSI reference model consists of 7 layers. So one is physical layer, data link layer. Third one is the network layer. Fourth one is the transport layer. Fifth one is the session layer. Sixth one is the presentation layer. Seventh one is the application layer. So I will tell you the functionality of each layer briefly, and whenever any communication takes place, that time these 7 layers have to be present at the sender side as well as at the receiver side. So this physical layer deals with raw bits. Raw bits means 0 and 1. So what happens here, whenever any communication starts, this message gets converted into 0 and 1 in the transmission medium. So the physical layer deals with all these raw bits. How many volts will be represented for 0, how many volts will be represented for 1, and what is the time duration 0 will survive in the communication medium, how much time the 1 will survive in the communication medium. All these things are decided by the physical layer. Whenever this raw bits passed through the data link layer divides the raw bits into number of groups. Each group is known as frames. All the frames are transmitted from sender to the receiver. If the service is reliable, that time in the receiver side, data link layer provides one acknowledgement frame to the sender side. So little bit error detection and correction capability is there for this data link layer. Whenever these frames are passed through the network layer, we tell as packets. In network layer, IP protocol is the leading protocol. IP protocol is nothing but internet protocol. It forwards the packet from one router to the other router till it reaches at the destination service. IP protocol provides best effort service. It doesn't provide any guaranteed service. Then whenever this message passes through the transport layer, the main function of the transport layer is to provide end-to-end connectivity between the sender and the receiver. So whenever end-to-end connectivity is not required, transport layer doesn't work that time. So whenever it is going to the message goes to the session layer, the main function of the session layer is to provide the sessions between the users from sending host to the destination host. It provides the services like token management, synchronization, dialog control. All these things are controlled by the session layer. Then whenever we are going to the presentation layer concerns with the syntax and semantics of the message. Then whenever we are going for application layer contains many protocols that were required for the user. I can give you the example. HTTP protocol, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, works on the basis of the www World Wide Web. This is all about the OSI reference model. So I will go for this TCP/IP model. In TCP/IP model, you see that there are 4 layers, and here OSI model there are 7 layers. But here you see that whenever we are going to the down part of the TCP/IP layer, you see that it is written that host to network layer. So clearly nothing is defined in the TCP/IP layer whether physical layer or data link layer is present or not. Directly host can be connected to the internet. IP protocol is the leading protocol in the internet layer. It is similar to the network layer in OSI model. So here this IP protocol is responsible to forward the packet from one router to the other router. Again, top of this internet layer, there is a transport layer. Transport layer is responsible for maintaining the end-to-end connectivity between the sender and the receiver. There are two leading protocols are there in transport layer. One is TCP, another one is UDP. TCP is a reliable protocol, provides a guaranteed service. But whenever you are going for UDP doesn't provide any guaranteed service. It is unreliable. So according to the applications, we can go for TCP, we can go for UDP. So again, you say that this presentation layer, session layer is absent in the TCP/IP protocol suite. Then we are going for application layer. There are many application layer protocols. I can give you the example of file transfer protocol, SMTP protocol. So many telnet protocol. There are many protocols are there in application layer. All are required for these users. So now whenever we are going for this OSI reference model, there are 7 layers. If we are going for TCP IP reference model, there are 4 layers. So OSI is having many drawbacks. TCP IP layers, TCP IP reference model also is having many drawbacks. So whenever we are going for the reference model for TCP IP, you see that this is the protocols and networks in the TCP IP model. So here you see that physical plus data link layer, it is written according to the physical and data link layer. These are the networks are used in this layer. One is ARPANET, one is SATNET and packet radio, and we are going for LAN. Similarly, we are going for a network layer. IP protocol is the leading protocol. TCP and UDP are the leading protocol in the transport layer. Then now these are the leading protocols like Telnet, FTP, SMTP, DNS are the leading protocol in the application layers. So now whenever we are going to compare this OSI with the TCP IP protocols, so many criticisms are discussed in the Tannenbaum book. I am going for OSI model. So why OSI did not take over the world? It is discussed in the Tannenbaum book that maybe it was bad timing, bad technology, bad implementations and bad politics. For that only OSI did not get a good name. So then for TCP/IP reference model, if I'll go for this TCP/IP reference model, so problems with the services, interface and protocols, these are not distinguished clearly in a TCP/IP model. It is not a general model. Host to network layer, not really a layer. No mention of physical and data link layers. All these are drawbacks with the TCP/IP reference model. But whenever the scientists wanted to have good communication, they came with a hybrid model. This hybrid model consists of 5 layers. One is a physical layer, second one is a data link layer, third one is the network layer, fourth one is the transport layer and application layer. It looks like that if we will subtract 2 layers from OSI model, presentation layer, that session layer and presentation layer, then it looks like that OSI model. If we will take the protocols from the TCP/IP model, so then it can work very nicely in the hybrid model. So this is the final structure of data communication. Practically we are using the hybrid model. So this is about the OSI, ISO OSI reference model and TCP/IP model, where we came to the conclusion about the hybrid model. Thank you.